Welcome back to the Guitar Temple. Glad you're here as always. Let's start. You can press the share button. If you feel led to do so, please do so. And in the description below, you can leave a donation if you feel that you want to give me a tip. Plant your corn early. Or if you want to buy me a cup of coffee, whatever. Today, let's talk about Irish guitarist Robert Billy Gary Moore. Robert William Gary Moore, lead guitarist of Thin Lizzy. Also, lead guitar player of Skid Row. I've got every Skid Row album. There's no way he's on any Skid Row album. He was lead guitarist of Skid Row, Irish division. Gary Moore is an Irishman, and he was a famous guitar player for playing the blues. Gary Moore was a very good jazz fusionist as well. He played for a band called Coliseum, I believe that's the name of it. And that's a jazz fusion type of music. So it's very, very good. You'll like it. He credits his father as being the reason why he made it. His father was a promoter in Hollywood, I guess. So let's take a look at the great Gary Moore. And don't forget to come back and see us. And don't forget to join us here at the Guitar Temple. Let's take a look at the great Gary Moore.
It used to be so easy to fall in love again, but I found out the hard way. It's a road that leads to pain. I found out that love is more than just a game, playing to win, but you lose just
actually start to play till I was about 10. And he came home one day from work on a Friday and he said, would you like to learn to play the guitar? And I said, well, yeah, I'd love to try, but I didn't think for one moment that I'd be able to do it. I quickly found out that I could work things out on the guitar and started to feel very at home with it. Although at the start I was playing in the wrong tuning and everything, I wasn't too bothered about that. I was really more concerned with being able to pick out melodies and everything, and I taught myself a lot of chords just from books and stuff, and just watching other people play really, and listening to records. So I didn't really have any formal training as such. I learnt fairly quickly that that was what I wanted to be, was a guitarist, because it was the first thing I'd ever done in my life that really felt like it was something that I belonged to. It just, I don't know, from the moment I picked it up, it just felt right. Always Gonna Love You was probably my attempt at that time of sort of writing a big sort of AOR ballad, you know. There were a lot of sort of things happening around that time in America, like Journey and Toto and all that kind of thing, and I suppose this was sort of my version of that, you know, with the sort of with the big sort of chords where you come into the it starts off with a very sort of gentle piano, and then it gets to just before the chorus, it's sort of, you get this. So that, you know, it was all that kind of the big power chord thing, and a very sentimental song for me also at the time. I mean, it was, you know, something to do with what was going on for me lyrically.
I'm always gonna love you. Love is forever. I'm always gonna want you. I don't think I could ever just forget the love we had.
I've never actually written anything like that before or after, to be honest. It's Always Gonna Love You is probably the only ballad of that type that I've ever written. And it was also nice to work with someone like Neil, because he had a lot of very good ideas that sometimes might not be quite complete, but there was always something of mine that would fit with them. And I'd never really worked that way before. I always thought you had to write a song from start to finish by yourself and not involve anyone else, otherwise it was fake. But it didn't work out like that. Some of the things that we wrote like that turned out to be some of the strongest songs on the albums. This was from the After Hours tour, and it was recorded at the Albert Hall. We did 2 nights at the Albert Hall. They were the last 2 shows that we did with that band for that tour.
I remember Paris, 49, Champs-Élysées, Saint-Michel and old Beaujolais wine.
And I remember going up to Phil's house one night, and he was sitting in bed. It was about 7 o'clock in the evening, actually, so he didn't want to get up too early on that particular day. And I went into his bedroom, and he had an old beaten-up acoustic guitar, and I was sort of sitting there. I said, I've got this melody, and I think I played the, and I sung the, you know, the lead line, which was, of course, you know, all that stuff, and I was just kind of like singing it to him and playing it. And he said, it sounds really French, that. Let me put some lyrics to it. So he kind of went away and he wrote the vocal part to it. Because up until that point I was just convinced it was going to be an instrumental. I never thought for a moment of putting vocals on it. And he came up with this great vocal part, which was, you know, I Remember Paris and 49, which was actually a very ambiguous lyric, because his father's name was actually Paris, and he was born in 49, so it's a bit of an insight for you there. So the whole thing wasn't actually about Paris, strictly speaking. By the time it came out, I'd rejoined Thin Lizzy, so we were on the road promoting the Black Rose album. We had like With Love, I think it was, or Waiting for an Alibi, I think it was, in the chart at like number 10 or whatever, and Parisian Walkways at number 7. So it was like a big time for us.
It's a world that you can't live without. She came from Chicago. She read me the news. In the headlines was a story of the blues.
The Midnight Blues is, it's got that, again, very sort of early Fleetwood Mac feel to it, with the, you know, lots of echo on the guitar and stuff. It's got that very sort of haunting. And it's got, and it's about you know, that kind of mood that people sometimes get into as it gets dark at night. You know, if you're going to get down, that's the time when it's going to happen. Sort of reflective frame of mind when I wrote the music for that record. So a lot of it came out with this very Celtic, Irish sort of flavour. I'd also just gone back to Ireland around that time for the first time in a while, and I'd been influenced just by going back there, and then the whole thing. There were a lot of kind of memories floating around in my mind at that time, you know, of the early days with Phil and Skid Row and Thin Lizzy, the whole thing. So a lot of that came out on this record.
We have the technology. I remember Paris, 1949, the Champs-Élysées, Saint-Michel on Beaujolais Way. I recall that you were mine in those Parisian days.
And there's the video. I hope you found it informative. I hope you enjoyed it. Would you do me a favor and press that button right down there? It says share, right below the video. Press the share button if you would. Do come back and see us, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I would appreciate that, and you can donate below if you feel led to do so. Right under the video in the description area, it's if you want to buy me a cup of coffee or something. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for coming by, and I will see you at the next video here at the Guitar Temple. And don't forget to join us here, the Guitar Temple, all the time.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner.